Pain became your power. They threw you into hell thinking you would break. They whispered your name with doubt, with laughter, with certainty that you would never rise again. They watched as the ground disappeared beneath your feet, and they assumed that would be the end of you. But they misunderstood one thing. They forgot that fire does not destroy everything. Some things are forged in it. Some souls are awakened by it. And you were never meant to stay fragile. You were meant to transform. At first, they expected silence from you. They expected tears, surrender, collapse. They expected you to shrink, smaller, quieter, more obedient. They expected you to carry your pain like a curse, like a weight around your neck that would pull you under. They thought the betrayal would crush your trust forever. They thought the rejection would erase your confidence. They thought the loneliness would hollow you out until nothing remained. And maybe, for a moment, it almost did. There were nights when the darkness felt heavier than your body. Moments when your own thoughts turned against you. Times when you stared at the ceiling, asking questions no one answered. Why me? Why now? Why this much pain? They didn't see those moments. They didn't hear the quiet battles you fought alone. They only saw what they wanted to see, a version of you they believed was finished. But pain has a strange way of revealing truth. And while they were busy underestimating you, something inside you was waking up. At first, it wasn't strength. It wasn't confidence. It was survival. You learned how to breathe in chaos, how to stand while trembling, how to move forward even when your heart begged you to stop. You learned that no one was coming to save you, and instead of breaking you, that realization sharpened you. You started listening to your instincts, to your scars, to the quiet voice inside that refused to die. You stopped asking for permission to exist, stopped waiting for apologies that would never come. Every tear became a lesson. Every betrayal became a blueprint. Every sleepless night became training. They thought you were drowning. They didn't realize you were learning how to swim in deep water. There was a moment, quiet, unremarkable to the world, when everything shifted. A moment when you looked at your pain and stopped asking, "Why is this happening to me?" And instead you asked, "What is this teaching me?" That question changed everything. Pain stopped being your enemy. It became your instructor, your mirror, your forge. You began to see yourself clearly, your flaws, your fears, your untapped strength. You saw how much you had given to people who never deserved it, how often you had dimmed your light to keep others comfortable, and something inside you hardened, not with bitterness, but with clarity. You realized you didn't need to be understood by those who tried to break you. You needed to be loyal to the person you were becoming. They noticed the change before you said a word. They felt it in your silence, in the way you stopped explaining yourself, in the way you walked away without begging, and it confused them, because this wasn't the version of you they remembered. This you didn't chase validation, didn't react to disrespect, didn't crumble under pressure. This you was calm, focused, unapologetically grounded. Did they really think you'd stay broken forever? Did they think pain would make you weaker, not wiser? Did they forget that diamonds are born under pressure? While they replayed the past, you rewrote your future. You stopped fighting battles that cost you your peace. You stopped proving yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You learned the most powerful revenge isn't anger, it's indifference. And that terrified them, because anger they could provoke, sadness they could exploit. But peace made you untouchable. You no longer reacted, you responded. You no longer chased, you attracted. You no longer begged, you chose. Every step you took forward echoed like thunder behind you. Every boundary you set felt like reclaiming stolen ground. Pain had stripped you of illusions, and in their place, it gave you vision. There were moments when the old wounds tried to reopen, when memories resurfaced like ghosts, when the past whispered, "You're not healed, you're pretending." But you didn't run this time. You stood there, you faced it, you breathed through it. Because healing doesn't mean forgetting, it means remembering without bleeding. You realized your scars weren't signs of weakness, they were maps. They showed you where you'd been and how far you'd come. You weren't the same person who entered the storm. You were the storm now, controlled, focused, unstoppable. They watched from a distance as you built something they could never take from you. Self-respect, discipline, purpose. They saw your growth and called it luck. They saw your confidence and called it arrogance. They saw your boundaries and called you cold. But you knew the truth. You knew how many nights it cost you, how many versions of yourself had to die so this one could live, how much pain it took to become this calm. You didn't need their acknowledgement. You had already paid the price. Pain became your power when you stopped running from it, when you stopped numbing it, when you stopped pretending it didn't hurt. You sat with it. You listened to it. You learned from it. And then you rose. Not loudly, not desperately, but deliberately, like a crown placed gently on your own head, like fire that warms instead of burns, like a star that doesn't ask permission to shine. You became proof that suffering can be transformed, that broken beginnings can lead to unbreakable endings. Now when they see you, they don't recognize you. And that's the point. You're no longer defined by what happened to you. You're defined by what you built from it. You walk with a quiet authority, a presence that doesn't demand attention, but commands it. You no longer fear losing people who don't value you. You no longer fear standing alone, because you know what you survived. And if you survived that, you can survive anything. This is the part they never prepared for. The moment when you stop seeking revenge and start living fully. When success becomes your language. When peace becomes your armor. You don't look back with hatred. You look back with understanding. They did what they did. You became who you are. And the distance between those two truths is your victory. So if you're listening to this right now, know this: your pain was never meaningless. Your struggle was never wasted. Every tear, every loss, every moment you thought you wouldn't make it, it was shaping you. Pain didn't end you. It revealed you. And now you walk forward, not as someone who was broken, but as someone who was forged. Pain became your power, and nothing they do can ever take that away.